Hello, how are you? Sorry I haven't replied comments on the channel for a little while. I do apologise about that because I read every comment because they pop up on my phone straight away when you write a comment. So I see all of the comments and they do cheer me up. But I just haven't been on there lately to reply them, and I am sorry about that. I think I've had a bit too much on my plate lately, and I've been struggling a little bit. So that's the reason. It's not like I'm being a selfish cow or anything. But yeah, I just feel like lately I've been a bit. I've been trying to reorganise my life to allow myself a bit more space, like headspace, you know, because I felt like my I suppose like my mental health was getting a bit affected by you know, I've had my daughter's problems since the summer. Well, really it's been a whole year of my daughter's problems, because we started the process about this time last year, realising she was autistic and having to do all the referrals and things, and she was really struggling by this time last year. So it's been a good year that I've been coping with all that, and you know, she's kind of a bit more settled now, thank God. But I mean, it's still constant stuff, like she's got a new assessment starting up this week. So, and that's to do with her education. So I've got that starting up. And then, you know, there's me in the middle, just trying to make sure that I sort of stay like on a good even keel. Yeah, that's why I haven't really been replying the comments. I will. I'm going to try and get on there the next few days and answer, you know, reply. I've got my favourite. This is my favourite mug at the moment, my Dracula. I just love this one, and I've got hot chocolate this morning, and I didn't even plan to have hot chocolate. I thought I was going to put coffee in, and I got the hot chocolate and put. I was like, oh, so that made me laugh. I was like, oh, I'm having hot chocolate this morning, but it is nice. So we're going to do tarot for the weekend. See what messages we get. I'm sending you lots of love wherever you are on Gaia, especially if you've got a lot on your plate, because I think we all do have a lot on our plate. As soon as your eyes open in the morning, you go, oh, I'm back in the matrix, and all the things I've got to do. It can be a bit overwhelming on a mental level, can't it? So I'm sending you lots of love, because we have got to look after our personal selves as well as all our other things we have to do. So I'm using that deck for what our relationship message is. I'm using that deck for the energies, and I'm using this deck to see what our spirit guides want to support us with at the moment. I love that deck. So cute. So let's go. It's a nice day here. It's quite sunny. Sorry, the visual isn't very good today. It's a bit blurry there, I know. And Gilbert's prancing around at the moment. He's having a little... He's not settled yet. He knows I'm going to be working. So settle down now, young man. Right, Taurus for the weekend. Let's see what we get for you. Remarkable. Very nice. Notice everything remarkable about your relationships. So, somebody does really appreciate you and think you're amazing. And also, you know, there's obviously a relationship you've got that is quite remarkable with somebody, and it's just like, wow, you know, and it could be anyone. It doesn't have to be an intimate relationship. This could be anyone in your life where you're just like, there's just something about this connection that is really helping me, or really, yeah, just helping me learn. I don't know. And you both notice the remarkable aspects of this connection. Like spirit sort of brought you together, you know, so it could even be soul family type of connection. Okay, so you've got here the world. There's something coming to a karmic completion in your life, and it's making you feel quite guarded and cautious. and you're being very, very careful, okay? You might feel at the moment you have to be careful with your money because you might be planning to do some things with your money. But equally, this could be sort of just how you're feeling in yourself, and you're sort of like, you know, being very cautious about what you do next because you just want to make sure you feel very stable and secure in yourself before you take your next steps. You are being definitely cautious and you're trying to take things slowly, but it's slow, steady progress, and you are becoming more balanced as an individual, which is a good thing. Because I think in our soul family, we have tended to be quite extreme. Okay. I will say that about us. We seem to be sort of one extreme to the other. And now as a soul family, we're trying to learn more balance, you know, because when we're in extremes, what it is we're kind of going either too much into the ego or too much into spirit, you know, either too much out in the matrix or too much reclusive. And now it's a time for Taurus to get a better balance. And you're going to be receiving blessings. You are going to be receiving money from multiple sources, and it does look like you will have enough money. But also you could be receiving other things as well. But it is all to do with this balanced energy. And so I think Spirit is sort of saying that although there's slow progress for you at the moment, it is slow, steady progress. You are going to reap the rewards of this. And so you are having slow progress, but good progress this weekend and the next few days. So I think Spirit is sort of saying, you know, hopefully the next few days you will start to relax just a little bit and not be quite so kind of guarded. But there's nothing wrong with, you know, just being careful at the moment because you just want to make sure that you're more secure and stable in yourself and your life. There's an energy of somebody here saying, I couldn't let you get close to me. Okay, so there could be somebody connected to you that has intimacy issues. But equally, remember, anybody out there that we come into contact with is just highlighting to us our own resistance. They're highlighting to us our blind spots that we can't see. So if somebody's been having intimacy issues with you, it is trying to teach you to embrace the fact that you might have intimacy issues as well. And, you know, you might want to slap me and say, Kerry, I don't have intimacy issues. You know, perhaps it's not intimacy issues, but perhaps there is something for you about getting close to people or needing your own space, that type of thing. Let's see what Spirit's helping you with. Practice. The best way to be good at a skill is to practice, practice, practice until you get it right. Okay, so you're practicing something at the moment. Spirit is getting you to practice, or, you know, and it could be anything that you're practicing. You know, you could be practicing like just visualizing your life or visualizing yourself, or you could be practicing a skill, or you could be just even like me at the moment, like I said in the intro to the video, you know, trying to get my life a bit more in order and learn to create a bit of space for myself. And that takes a bit of practice because obviously unfortunately my super ego is always kind of making me communicate too much and stuff like that. So yeah, Spirit's helping you to become more balanced and practice at becoming more balanced. But there is a special connection here in your life that is helping you learn a lot. You know, there is somebody here that struggles with emotional intimacy, but maybe you're learning quite a lot about that, about yourself now. You know, and that's just how we become more spiritually evolved, you know, and that's why as a soul family we've moved further on than just the twin flame experience, because that's when you're in the twin flame experience, you really are still blaming other people a lot. And as a soul family, we've progressed further than that now, and we're actually trying to actually see our blind spots. So, you know, the one thing I will say, you're coming into better balance, you're going to be receiving, money does look good, maybe support, and also, you know, you are ending some sort of massive chapter in your life, and it's making you feel a bit guarded or nervous, you know, so be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, Taurus, I'd say. Right, let's go into Virgo next. And have a bit more of my hot chocolate. Let's go into Virgo. Virgo. What do we get? Surprise. Ooh, you may be about to be surprised. That's nice. Okay. Somebody you know could be in for a bit of a surprise. But equally you could be surprised. Ending a difficult time. Now is a time of action in your life, and you're making things happen. Okay. You're making rational decisions. You're trying to be more rational and just make things happen. And you're moving on from this kind of very betrayed feeling that might have made you feel like a victim, might have made you feel betrayed and let down, and it was just causing you pain. And I think you just really now want to be over that, and it's like, you know, I don't want to keep, you know, it's almost like stabbing yourself in the back, you know, it's like, God, you know, I've just got to let it go now and just be more rational and move forward and make things happen. So you know, I do feel for you there, because it will have felt like things were very unfair, very painful, you know, feeling very let down, you know, not a nice time. But now you're on the up, okay? You're on the up, and things will start to be taking action, and things will start to be moving forward. And it's like you've got your head in the right place. You're building a more solid foundation. And again, you're just well, I was going to say that is actually the King of Pentacles you've got there. You're actually, you know, becoming more affluent. You know, you're creating a solid foundation for more money to come in, actually, because, well, I suppose you're moving on from this kind of painful, stuck energy, which is just going to block abundance, by the way. You're becoming much more grounded. You're becoming much more stable in yourself now, Virgo. And whatever it was that was upsetting you, it could have been lots of different things upsetting you. I think that was probably keeping you very stuck, very confused. But I think you've got clarity. And now, you know, Spirit is saying, well done, Virgo. You're actually making positive things happen, being more rational. And not just that, but you're getting more secure in yourself. It's almost like you found yourself and you're like, this is who I am. You know, I am proud of my skills and my abilities. I am owning who I am. I'm going to stand in my power, you know, and that is actually going to bring you more abundance, because you can feel the energy as I say it, how much closer to Spirit you are when you are in your power and you know who you are and you just follow what you know is your truth. So, you know, it's a much more stable energy that Virgo in this soul family is moving into the next few days, and it's going to make you feel much more secure in yourself, much more in your power, and you will be closer to source energy, and you will actually, believe it or not, be headed towards more abundance because of this. Let's see what else we're getting. Okay, so there might have been some situations where somebody has felt too young or not ready. Perhaps this could be, it says here, you and I were too young. You know, it might not be youth, but sometimes people are emotionally immature, emotionally not ready for things. And, you know, maybe there was a blind spot within you and you couldn't really see it at the time, but perhaps really deep down you weren't really ready for something in your life, or you weren't really in the right place mentally for certain things. But I just feel like Virgo in this soul family is just really starting to get much better clarity and much more focus. And it's like, do you know, I know what I'm doing now, you know? And that's really positive, because I know with Virgo, it can be really, that Virgo energy can be really hard. I've got some Virgo in my chart, and it's been one of the main reasons I've had problems in my life over the years. Because the Virgo energy just makes you so scattered sometimes, and it just makes you way too, I don't know. Sometimes it just gets you involved in too many different things, and you feel like you've got to either achieve everything or always try to be perfect at everything, and then you're not really just in your truth, you know. But I can see the difference here. Spirit is saying it's okay to be different. You don't need to be like everyone else. You are perfect just as you are. Do you see what I mean? Virgo, in this soul family, you're owning it. You're owning it, and you now are not just giving yourself away to everybody else, because, you know, you've got skills, you've got abilities, you can be there and do a lot for others. But this is now about Virgo in our soul family, you know, really walking in your truth and doing what's right for you, your way. And it's okay for you to be different. Okay, don't feel judged by others. So who cares if they judge? You know? Who cares? Because by walking in your power and your truth, you're going to be closer to source, and you're actually going to end up reaping the benefits in the long term, you know. Okay, so we're going to go into Capricorn. Capricorn for the weekend. Welcome. Look deeply within to discover your soul purpose in your relationships. Okay, so there might be some people that are thinking about you at this time, Capricorn, believe it or not. There might be some people thinking about their relationship with you, and equally you're considering your relationships, you know. So there's quite a lot going on there. Yeah, and you might be noticing that your relationships are teaching you a lot at the moment, actually, about yourself. You've had a bit of a shock lately, okay? And this could either be to do with somebody else, or it could be a shock even to do with yourself. But there's definitely been like truth being revealed and things needing to change. It's like, okay, this is like now a time for a change. Things have got to change, and you're moving forward after a period of feeling a bit stuck or delayed. And it's like, wow. And you know, sometimes the truth is hard to face in a way, but then it's just so worth it, because then you can move forward. And I can see that that's what's happening for Capricorn now. Oh, you might be able to hear Gilbert. He's snoring to high heaven. Gilbert, shush. Okay, there's an opportunity here coming in from Spirit. And I think it beckons an ending and a new beginning for you, okay? So this is definitely an opportunity handed to you by Spirit, but it coincides with something kind of needing to end. It feels like you might have been stabbed in the back, you might have been betrayed, or it was a painful time and you weren't being treated very nicely. But I feel like that is really kind of ending now. And this is a whole new beginning for Capricorn in this soul family. There is somebody here that does have regrets. It says they regret lying to you, okay? But remember, if somebody was lying to you, this is always going to be a mirror to our own blind spots, whatever anybody else is doing to us. So there must have been some way that you might have been lying to yourself. And that's all. It wasn't a personal thing. Spirit was just getting you to awaken to how were you lying to yourself. You could have been lying to yourself about something completely different, you know, but it was just a mirror to get you to wake up to certain things. But I think you've really understood everything now. So yeah, something shocking, all about truth. You're moving forward now. This is an opportunity to get over a painful time in your life, and you're learning a lot from your relationships and realizing, you know, you're integrating your blind spots, actually, is what you're doing. You're starting to understand a lot. Now, Spirit is saying love. The answer you're seeking is love. So that's nice. So there is something here to do with like the love of self, and what your relationships are trying to teach you about your own self-love, I think. You know, and the fact that you have got to put your truth first, you have got to put yourself first, and your perceptions of things are changing, I feel. But Spirit is helping you to realise that this is a loving journey. You're moving from your life being kind of like a painful journey to now your life being more of a loving journey. So I hope that is sort of helpful and, you know, interesting. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of that whole thing of like not taking things so personally anymore, and being able to, like, you're at the spiritual level now where you can actually see things from the higher perspective, and that's a more awakened way of living your life. It's not easy. It does take perseverance, because sometimes, you know, when we love people, it can feel personally upsetting. But I think you're over that stuck phase now, and you're not seeing things in that way, if that makes sense. Okay, we're going to go into Aquarius. You know, I can't believe it. As I'm doing these readings, I have had so many messages coming in on my phone. It's making me laugh, because normally when I'm recording, I don't often get that many messages, but I'm getting loads today, so I don't know why. Right, Aquarius, let's see what we get for you. Oh my God, love conquers all. So there could be one person that loves you, or there could be many people that love you. Also, people are illusions, let's face it. You know, this is all about spirit, isn't it? Spirit is love. You know, you're really starting to love yourself. It's all about love for Aquarius right now. You're moving on from a troubled time. It was a slippery slope. You might have felt like you were about to, I want to say, keel over. I've got Aquarius in my chart, and I can quite relate. I mean, I was feeling like this, I won't lie. But there's two opportunities. Okay, there's two great things happening here. The path ahead is going to be easier. You're making slow, steady progress the next few days. You will be receiving money from multiple sources. You know, money and abundance looks good. Your progress looks good. You're very committed to this. You're just slaying it after feeling very, you know, you might have even had regrets coming up to do with the past and things like that, which I don't like. It's horrible when those come up, and it's best not to pay attention to them. But there also could have been some things that were sort of really getting you down. But it's all much better the next few days. I think you realise there's two opportunities ahead of you, and you are committed to moving forward on your path, and you're actually starting to make some small celebrations. You're attending to your responsibilities. You're attending to the things that need to be done, which is really good. Because in the long term, this is going to set you up much better. So yeah. Now, there's somebody here saying, I knew that I crossed the line with you. Okay, it could be one person, or it could be more than one person. But remember, this is just a message as well to you. If you're seeing somebody in your life who's crossed a line with you, there's obviously lines that you cross within yourself. You know, ways in which you were not, you know, respecting your own boundaries within yourself, and not loving yourself. But I think that's what Aquarius is turning around at the moment, big time, you know. it might have been a time of grief that you had gone through or something like that, and it was just hard. A lot of purging maybe. Spirit is saying, talk about your feelings, tell a friend how you feel. And look at how cute that card is. Gilbert is snoring so loudly. Look at that. So Spirit is getting you to reach out to your networks. I don't often say, oh, you know, because I do believe in silence. I mean, silence is wisdom on my spiritual path. And I don't believe in getting too involved in other people's ego. But, you know, sometimes it is about accepting our form identity. You know, that's Eckhart Tolle talks a lot about that. And if you do find yourself compelled, I mean, if Spirit wants you to talk to somebody about something, so, you know, for your own well-being. So, and I feel like Spirit has been guiding you to look after your own well-being a lot more. And I think that's what you're doing now. And I think Spirit is saying in the longer term, you're going to be feeling a lot better. And you're going to realise your networks are better. So, Spirit is probably actually guiding you to talk to others. So it will be like, it won't be so much that you feel you're doing it. It'll feel like, oh, I'm compelled. I have to. Spirit's making me do this now. You know, and that's interesting. So hopefully that's going to help. But yeah, you're on a path of more love and joy now, and looking after yourself better. Right, so we're going to go into Gemini. Gemini for the weekend. Let's see what we get. What do we get? Oh, this is an interesting card that I don't often see. Telepathic. Close soul connections are harmoniously synchronized, creating moments of telepathy. So you do have a telepathic link with somebody here. Interesting. Or there could even be multiple telepathic things going on for you. But that does mean that there's other people thinking about you as well. It's got to go both ways, hasn't it? Oh, wow. They're showing, Spirit is showing that there's been some recent things to celebrate, and this is all about you celebrating your rebirth. Okay, there's a rebirth here for Gemini. Celebrating a rebirth, and it is spiritually and emotionally fulfilling. This is the happiness, a new beginning. And you're very secure and grounded in yourself the next few days. You're going to notice that you're really starting to feel more grounded and secure in yourself with the King of Pentacles to the Four of Pentacles. And this is a milestone that you're reaching. It's been a long time coming, and it's very good news because you kind of like really know who you are. You feel more secure in yourself. You feel more stable in yourself. You feel like you're starting to build a solid foundation for yourself. And there does feel like mini celebrations for Gemini at the moment in this soul family. There's somebody in your life that feels like they messed everything up. Okay. I don't know who this would be, but obviously you have to tune in. Who could that be that feels like they've messed things up? But then equally, like there might have been that sense that you've messed things up. God. We all have, you know, we all have. But yeah, it's fine. It's just like knowing that whatever you see in somebody else, it's just helping you understand your own blind spots and integrate more of whose Spirit's actually made you to be, you know. And so embracing where you messed up too is fine. And then you're not triggered by somebody else. You know, if you get triggered by somebody else who keeps messing things up, or, you know, maybe making you feel bad, you won't be so triggered by that when you can actually own it, that, you know, and be at peace with the fact that you've messed up, sort of thing. It's like, oh, okay. Just so great when you can start getting to that point that you're not so triggered by others because you've integrated your blind spots. That's what it's all about. And Spirit is helping you just be yourself. You're a great person. Enjoy being yourself. So that's so nice. You're a great person. Enjoy being yourself. And like I said, I feel like this is celebrating a rebirth or celebrating a very good new beginning that's emotionally and spiritually fulfilling. It's almost psychic. It's almost like you just know this is happening. And, you know, you're just owning it and you're much more secure. You're not trying to prove anything. You're just more confident or secure in who you actually are, and you know yourself better. So yeah, it's a sense of knowing that, oh wow, this is all happening now and I know it, I feel it. Okay, so we're going to Libra now. Let's see what we get for Libra for the weekend. Remarkable. Notice everything remarkable about your relationships. So you might just be thinking, God, there is quite a lot of magic going on for me in my relationships at the moment. And there could also be somebody noticing that there's something a bit magical about their relationship and connection with you as well. It has been challenging for you, but you've got a lot more clarity now. You might appear a bit cold to other people. Typically, Libras don't appear cold because, you know, we like harmony and we do tend to be quite good at checking in and communicating. But on the other hand, you know, Libra is an air sign. So actually, yes, we can actually, that might be a bit of a blind spot that we don't necessarily realise for a long time. And it's a blind spot I've been working on lately, actually. You know, because as an air sign, or if you've got a lot of air in your chart, you will be a bit more naturally detached. And you know, that's not a bad thing, actually. That can be a very good thing, because it means you don't get overly attached to others, which is really good. I know I've got really overly attached to people in the past, but you know, I'm now learning it wasn't really me, you know, it was just my ego. And actually, naturally, I'm not really like that. And that's very empowering, you know, and I just see you being very empowered after a period of feeling really like hard done by, and also just feeling like really severely challenged. So you've got a lot more clarity the next few days. You know what you're doing. You've got a much better vision for where you're headed next and what you're going to do. Some people might find you a bit cold, but so be it. You've got to do what you've got to do. You are ending karmic patterns. It is challenging. Again, you've got the challenge card. I hate to say it, but you're going to be making progress, okay? Justice card to the Seven of Wands. I mean, yeah, you've got the Seven of Wands twice. So Spirit is just confirming that this is a challenging time for Libra in this soul family. This card is also showing it is a time of progress. It's probably a time where you've got to work with lots of different people, and you might even find that quite challenging. But the good thing is it's a time of progress. Really, it's worth working with different people to get things done, because you're going to be progressing better, and that is going to be a good thing, really. It's just going to feel a bit challenging because I think you're going to be ending some things that you were previously doing, or you might be ending a certain way that you were living and now going forward changing things. So whatever it is you're changing, you are going to be changing things. It is going to feel challenging. It is going to require you working with others, but it is going to be worth it because you're not going to be feeling stuck or blocked anymore. You know, and you're also going to be communicating in a very truthful way, and sometimes maybe a bit blunt or a bit cold. I feel you even though we are apart. So there is somebody, like I said, with that remarkable card, there's definitely somebody that does think about you. And also this is a mirror that you do think about somebody as well. But I think, honestly, I just feel you have got so much to contend with here, Libra. Being apart from somebody at the moment is maybe the way it has to be, because you've got things you've got to do. And Spirit is talking about teamwork, so that does clarify, because that Three of Pentacles was just sitting on the deck wanting to be seen. And it says here, work with others to make the situation come about. So Spirit is guiding you to do that at the moment, to communicate, to work with others, to face challenges, to end things, okay, end chapters and start new chapters. Okay, but there is some sort of magical connection there. There is somebody thinking about you. So I'm sending you lots of love. Gilbert, good grief. You're a snorer today. I think it's the way he's got his head laying down. Right, Leo, this is for the weekends. Let's see what we get. Recognition. The divine will help you recognise signs and miracles. Spirit's getting you to have more faith at the moment, Leo, and you're going to be noticing that actually things that you might have been worried about, maybe you didn't need to worry about so much, and that could come in quite quickly. Equally, somebody else that's connected to you is getting some signs and miracles at the moment, so this is nice for both of you. What else are we getting? Progress, and you could be really making decisions to move away from something, because you've got the Knight of Wands, which signifies a departure. You've been working with others on your sort of progress, and it's early days, and you might be deciding there's something you don't want to go ahead with, or there's something you're not going to do anymore. And your energy could seem a bit unpredictable at the moment, because I think there could be quite a lot going on, and you're definitely having feelings about changing things up, you're definitely considering things a lot, and there are multiple options and things on your mind at the moment, and the good news is you are going to get clarity and choose one of them. You're going to make a firm decision on which way you want to go, and it's going to involve like certain paths not coming together, certain doors maybe not opening, and then it's going to be very clear to you which way you're going to go. So it's quite full on actually for Leo at the moment, because it's probably quite a busy time. You're having to sort of communicate with lots of different people and get clear on what it is that you need to do, and get clear on what is the way forward here. Somebody's saying here, I hid who I really am from you, and I think that is quite clear to you now that somebody did hide who they really were. And I think also obviously that was a messenger from Spirit to try and show you that you were sort of hiding who you really were. And now I don't think you're doing that. I think you're actually really figuring out, this is now going to be my life. These are the things now I'm going to do, and people are going to see the real me. And they can either like it or lump it. So it's really good. Oh, wow. Spirit is saying, believe in yourself. See yourself doing well, and you will. And you will. Okay, so it's beautiful. You're going to do really well. You are going to walk away from certain things, or maybe choose one option instead of a few other things you were thinking of doing. And Spirit is giving you the confidence at the moment. It is really like Spirit is giving you a push to move forward with things now and just believe. And it's like you're starting to get a better vision, because it is hard when we're sort of going from one way of living and then we change everything. Part of the process is having to feel, and visualize it. Some people can't visualize, but you can sense it and start knowing it and feeling it as your truth. And you do sort of have to really feel that before these things start to really take form in the physical reality. So it's kind of like a simultaneous process, isn't it? And that's why life is often more gradual than what we'd really like. Because our visual for things has to kind of catch up and be in tandem with the physical reality at the same time for it to happen. And sometimes we're a bit blocked energetically and we keep changing our mind. But I feel, Leo, in this soul family, you're not going to be changing your mind anymore. And it's going to be, right, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. Boom. Okay, so we're going to go into Aries next. Okay, so this is Aries for the weekend. Let's see what we get for you. Dreams. Share your dreams together and encourage each other to make them a reality. That's nice. So somebody and you are sort of being more open about who you really are, more open about what your dreams are, not judging each other. And yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Things starting to really happen. It is challenging, definitely, but you are getting that vision because you've got the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords has a very strong vision for what she's doing next. And it's like, right, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm going for it. And doesn't matter what gender or sexuality you are, it's just an energy of being very, very focused. And some people will find you cold, but it's just like, you've got to do this now. You know, you're headed towards your dreams, you're headed towards your vision, and it's not been easy. It's been bloody hard. And the most important thing is emotionally checking in with yourself and caring for yourself as you do this. You've got here, I think it's the King of Wands. I'm not sure, actually. Sometimes this deck does annoy me a little bit because the pages and the kings don't always look completely obvious. Oh, no, that's the King of Pentacles. Sorry, they do normally put the kings on the thrones, so I'm going to go with this being a page. You're attracted to working really hard at the moment on something that you really are passionate about, okay? And you're so attracted to this. It's just almost like a whole adventure for you. It might even be taking over your life, quite honestly. So you're going to become an absolute expert at this. You're really determined and you're really passionate and it might even be more than one thing, okay? Because I've got Aries in my chart, and I know I feel like that about a couple of things in my life at the moment. So this is good. It's early days, but you have got good news here. It's like good news because Spirit is saying it's time. You know, it is now time for you to proceed and do the work and really make progress on a couple, you know, maybe more than one thing. Somebody does think about what they talk to you about, and they replay the conversations over and over in their mind. And also equally, you might be doing the same thing at times, and it might be a blind spot that you've not been able to see, that sometimes you do the same thing, you know. So it's just about embracing ourselves, isn't it, and integrating all of that and knowing that, you know, there is part of you maybe that is a bit anxious or needy, and to just be embracing of that, you know. Or it might not be to do with that. It might be an obsessive type of streak. I don't know. But I replay our conversations over and over. So somebody's either needy and anxious about you, or maybe they get confused and annoyed about you, or perhaps they are obsessed and loving you. Whatever it is that triggers you about that, it's just about embracing it in yourself, and then it won't bother you that person's like that. Do you see what I mean? So yeah, somebody does think about the conversations that you have. Let's see what Spirit is also. This is all about you moving towards your dreams at the moment, Aries. And it's been really challenging, but you have got a vision now, and now you're actually excited to move forward with it. It probably does involve quite a lot of work, but this is definitely, I feel, your alignment. This is what you've dreamed about happening, and you're going to make it happen. And somebody in Spirit is saying, talk about your feelings and tell a friend how you feel. Okay, so it is important for Aries in this soul family at the moment to look after your emotional well-being. Because I did say the Queen of Swords there is quite a cold energy, and she sometimes does forget to look after herself emotionally. All right. So let's go into Sagittarius. hope that reading helped for Aries. Let's go into Sagittarius for the weekends. Yeah. Ooh, true love. True love comes when you least expect it. So somebody could be very attracted to you in the near future, and not just attracted, but they could be really, really loving you. But also this will be a mirror to you actually finally really, really loving yourself. And you loving yourself, you are, baby. You've got the Nine of Pentacles to the Wheel of Fortune. This is all about Sagittarius and this soul family really, really coming into your god or goddess-like power at the moment. And it is your time, all right? It is your time to shine. Now, you might feel things get slightly testing before they get better, because that can happen with the Wheel of Fortune. But it's very temporary, okay? It's just that sometimes it kind of requires a big push, yeah, when the Wheel of Fortune is turning. So that big push can be a bit testing, but it's all happening. This is predestined. Something is going on at the moment that was always predestined to happen at this time. And it is happening because you are finally really loving yourself, you know? And you can only love yourself when you actually know yourself. And that's why most people don't love themselves, because they don't actually know who they are. And that's what I used to be like. I couldn't love myself. I had no clue how to do it because I didn't even know who I was. And that's because we make up stories in our head about who we think we are. And also who we think we are is often based on other people's conditioning of us as well, isn't it? So look, you know, Sag, you know who you are now. And you are really, really walking in your love for yourself. And Wheel of Fortune is turning. You're really arriving. You are really arriving in your true energy. People are going to be so wanting to help you. They're going to be wanting to support you. They're going to be wanting to be your friend. Maybe love you because you have got the true love card. There is a lot healing for you at this time. You've got a beautiful balance between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. This is probably the most beautiful reading I've seen for Sagittarius in quite a while. The energies are just very gentle and beautiful. There could be somebody coming in with an apology. I will say that is a very strong chance. But also I just feel like you apologising to yourself, because everything's a mirror, and you could really be showing up for yourself now on an emotional level like never before. And this is so deeply healing and calming for you. So it's fantastic. I also do feel like Spirit is very close to Sagittarius the next few days, helping you. There is somebody saying that I wish things could be different and I regret lying to you. Okay. But also there's going to be blind spots that this person's triggering in you, you know? If they've lied to you, you now realise maybe you had been lying to yourself. You hadn't been kind to yourself. If this person is saying, I wish things could be different, you know, deep down, you know, you also were wishing things could be different, maybe about aspects of your life, and you needed to focus on that yourself more than this person, you know. You had to kind of do things, and I think there's been a lot for you to sort out, and now you pretty much got it sorted, you know, and you're just really in your element. Let's see what Spirit's saying. Relax, everything's okay, don't worry, it's all going to be fine. How brilliant is that? Oh, I always feel like I cover up these beautiful cards with my nails. Oh, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. This is all predestined to happen at this time. Spirit is very close to you, reassuring you. You're really learning to love yourself and honour yourself, and you're really arriving. People are going to be noticing you, wanting to connect with you. somebody may be apologising, and you are definitely healing things for yourself and now looking after yourself much better. But yeah, you have got this true love card, so I will say that there could be something to do with love coming in for you, all right? Let's go into Scorpio. I'm just going to have a little drink. Oh, it was funny this morning, there's a couple of little dogs downstairs. They come occasionally because the girl who lives underneath me, I think she's got a relative that's got some little dogs, but they do bark. And oh, Gilbert was so annoyed this morning. I could hear him. I was coming up to the flat and I could hear his little bark. And I was like, you naughty boy. And then I realised it was these dogs downstairs who'd been annoying him. And then I was like, oh, bless him. He couldn't help it, really, because they do kick up. But I don't know, they've been quiet for a little while now. Okay, so this is for Scorpio. Your spiritual journey is beginning. Okay, that's probably an understatement because I think anyone in this soul family, our spiritual journey has been happening since the beginning of time, and especially if you're Scorpio. But maybe you're just embracing it more, you know? Maybe you are literally embracing the spiritual aspect of yourself and your life a lot more than you were. And also, your spiritual journey is just progressing now. And there's also somebody in your life whose spiritual journey is progressing now as well. And maybe as well, it's about the fact that spirit is in control of all of this. You were keeping yourself very stuck, and spirit is saying that you weren't stuck and you could have done something about it, but you just couldn't see it at the time. It just didn't seem clear to you, and you were sort of obstructing yourself. Perhaps it was your superego was obstructing you, you know, your karma. However, you now have your own free will here with the Fool. Well, none of us really have free will because spirit is the doer. Spirit's in charge of everything according to our past karmas and our destiny. But it will basically now feel like you're freed up to finally step forward and exert your free will. It's going to feel like that. It's also going to feel a bit nerve-wracking. There's a bit of fear when we get the Fool because it's stepping into the unknown, and it might feel a bit like we're constantly on the edge, like constantly on edge. But it is exciting at the same time. You're actually in a very good position for things to now progress, so you don't actually have to force things, okay? This is just confirmation, Scorpio, believe it or not. I know what the human ego is like, and we do struggle to trust, but this is confirmation that you're in a good position with the Three of Wands and you don't need to force things to happen. So please hold that in your heart, okay? Right now, I don't need to force things to happen. I'm in a good position. My life is now proceeding. Spirit is beckoning me forth. Spirit's in charge. Okay, so somebody's saying that being near you is intoxicating. Okay, so now you could have somebody who's very attracted to you and is intoxicated by you, but also, I mean, your energy could be intoxicating people generally because you're releasing yourself. You are liberating yourself, Scorpio. And you're going, I mean, let's face it, Scorpio, you are the queen of, you know, the king or queen of transformation. All right, that is really one of the main things that Scorpio does is transform. And that is a very intoxicating energy when you're in your element like that. So you could be inspiring people left, right, and centre. Just watch what happens, okay? And you're intoxicated by it as well. And that's why nothing needs to be forced. I can see progress here, and spirit is just making it happen. And you're probably inspiring others. And spirit is saying it's okay to be different. All right, you don't need to be like everyone else. You are perfect just as you are. So you are embracing this new beginning, which could well be a transformation. Somebody could be helping you because and also you could have the right amount of resources or money for this to happen. And that looks very much likely that there's going to be enough resources or money for your progress. And you just don't need to force things. It's all about trusting in spirit and trying to relax the energies. So I'm sending you lots of love, Scorpio. Let's go into Pisces. Pisces for the weekend. Heart. You begin to feel your heart beat faster when you are close. Okay, interesting. So there is somebody that will be sensing something to do with your heart chakra. And also you sensing something to do with your heart chakra. The heart is to do with the self, okay? That is, it's the chakra that kind of joins our lower chakras and opens us up to our higher self. So that's why the center point in humans, the heart area, is really, it's very spiritual point, and it is to the heart awakening. It is to do with the self, the journey back to self. So there's something going on here. Some of you, there could be something to do with love or intimacy with somebody. But even if that is the case, it will be something to do with your own heart chakra, your own heart awakening, and it being your true self. So there's definitely a message here about Pisces. You are, somebody in your life is being more themselves, being more real, and you are also doing the same. You're being yourself, you're being more real. It's been very difficult, it's been very, very stressful, and it's probably been driving you nuts, life basically lately, but you're now going to start making things happen. You're being more rational, and you're coming out of a phase where there could have been some really, I hope you don't mind me saying, but some bad mental health there, really making you feel insecure or frightened or low in yourself, very, very low, because that is the depression card. But now you're being more rational, and you're really making things happen, okay? It's fantastic. You're celebrating long-term good fortune, okay? You're attending to responsibilities and things that you need to attend to. You could be widening your networks, definitely, with these two cards. But you are being responsible, and you're headed towards long-term abundance and a long-term happiness, really. Really couldn't be better. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I just think you might have had a breakthrough lately about just being your true self. You might have had a breakthrough about really just honouring yourself. And likewise, there's somebody connected to you who's also having a breakthrough about that. You're both having a breakthrough about just being your true selves. And it's releasing you from a very depressed sort of period of time. Now things are really starting to happen for you. Really celebrating, really opening up your networks, really moving forward to long-term sort of happiness. Probably does involve quite a lot of responsibilities and things you've got to do, but it just looks like you feel happy doing it, honestly. I replay our conversations over and over. So somebody does think about the conversations they have with you, and equally you think about the conversations you have with them. So there's obviously something there that you're both learning from each other. And let's see what Spirit is helping you with. Love. The answer you're seeking is love. And this is amazing because you've got the heart chakra card and you've got the love. Spirit is guiding you into the heart, you know, into your true self. And it is about just really now, you know, making things happen, loving yourself, being true to how Spirit's made you. You know, this is your journey back to yourself, and it's a very happy journey. And there might be other people involved in this journey, or certain things you have to do. I think there is a lot of action now happening with this. Ultimately, this could be bringing you into a love relationship. But I know some of you might say, oh, Kerry, don't go there at the moment. But yeah, could well move into a long-term relationship eventually here with these cards. Okay, So that's the message, Pisces. I hope you liked it. We're going to go into Cancer now. Let's see what we get for Cancer. Cancer for the weekend. What do we get? Surprise. Oh gosh, you may be about to be surprised. That's nice, isn't it? My God. Okay, well that's nice to know. Somebody else connected to you could also be in for a bit of a surprise. Okay. Now, taking your power back. You're taking your power back because you weren't really honouring yourself. And, you know, you've got to keep checking in with that card to make sure that you do keep honouring yourself as you really are. You know, really being humble and remembering, I know it's hard, isn't it? Because there's so much going on in our lives, but trying to stay kind of really centered in your true self and be humble about that and not go back into playing a character, but just be really humble and honest with who you are. Because otherwise you end up playing a character and then you're fighting for things that you probably don't want. Does that make sense? Now, you've got the Lovers card. There could be a mystery about somebody that you do like. That is very possible with the Lovers card. You know, and there could be a surprise coming in between, you know, you and somebody else, okay? But also, you know, with the Lovers card, it's sort of like there's a bit of a sense of crossroads here. Which way am I going to go? So you could be facing a choice. All right, you could definitely be facing a choice here. And I think you're facing that choice because you have recently realised, I need to take my power back from certain things I was doing. And I now need to really honour who I truly, truly am. And now I'm honouring who I truly, truly am and being more humble and being more real. You know, there's actually sort of like a decision that I need to make, or a couple of decisions you might need to make, and you sort of might feel there's a bit of a delay. Now there is an opportunity coming in here from Spirit, and it is to do with knowing yourself and becoming much more grounded in yourself. It's definitely to do with knowing yourself because you've got the Ace of Wands to the Six of Cups, which is, you know, it's like the childhood card. It's a card of like your true nature when you were a child, what you really were supposed to be like. And Spirit's giving you an opportunity here to embrace who you really are, who you've always really been. It's a mysterious path, you know. Lover's card is a mysterious card. You know, and you've probably been waiting for this to happen in your life and never probably thought it would be possible to actually really be the real you. I think it's happening because you've decided to pull away from things you were doing that you know were fake and were just pointless, and it wasn't serving you anymore to do it, really. You know, and that could have been about you, like I said, portraying an image of yourself that wasn't really you. But now I just think this is a time where it's like you can do this. You can finally be your true self, because the Queen of Pentacles is sitting there, and that is not one that I've picked. It just flipped over and I could see it. And the Queen of Pentacles just really, really knows herself, and that's why she holds that golden coin. She sees visions in that golden coin. She's very stable and secure. She does very well with money as she gets older. She tends to work with more people as she gets older. And she's just very grounded in herself and very trusting in Spirit, you know. So let's see what else we get. It's interesting reading. Okay, so somebody's saying we need to let each other go. Now, this could be anyone. It doesn't have to be an intimate relationship. To think outside the box who this could be. But there does seem to be somebody where there may have been a very, like, this type of connection, and now it is time that this is kind of, you know, changing, which could be a very positive thing. But also it's going to be a mirror to you. Like I said, letting go of perhaps a mask you were wearing, you know, because I do feel there's a strong sense of Cancer here, getting back to who you really are. And so maybe you're letting go of an image you had of yourself or a previous identity, and now that's going. And this is actually a really inspirational time for Cancer in this soul family at the moment. Let's see what else Spirit is helping you with. Practice. The best way to be good at skills is to practice, practice, practice until you get it right. So it is going to take a bit of work, I think, to just really embrace yourself, you know, your true nature. And I know it is for me. I know I constantly have to remind myself, Kerry, don't keep doing those things because you know that's not really who you are. And there's no point in doing that anymore. It's time for you to just be yourself, you know. Oh, you know, it's hard because we have these bad habits sometimes. But what's the point in keeping those bad habits up? You know, it's so much better to take this opportunity from Spirit to really follow, you know, our hearts. And, you know, I think that's what we're going to do. And Spirit is actually helping us to persevere. Spirit is helping you to practice at doing the things you now need to do. And there will be some sort of change probably going on with some kind of significant relationship or situation in your life, because naturally you are now pulling back from certain things you were doing because you just know now that's not the way my life is and it's not who I am. So I hope that helps. But yeah, there could be a surprise for you in the store, which, you know, looks nice. So let's remember that as well. So thanks for subscribing. Thanks for giving the video a thumbs up. And if you'd like to book in for a reading or a birth chart, you are very welcome. I'm sending you so much love and peace across Gaia for your weekend. Lots of love.